Okay, this is approximately 3 weeks, two pictures, 3 weeks apart from each other. And the energy has really shifted in a lot of ways. So there's a couple of things that I would love to show you right away. So first of all, this was approximately 3 weeks ago, and this is the most recent photo. So the first thing that I want to observe is look at these big toes. Um, obviously the nail has grown a little bit, but we're not going to worry about that. What I want to focus on is the spacing in your channel of intuition. It's a much bigger space here. This toe, look at that spirit path toe, how much more straightforward it is. Whereas just 3 weeks ago, the toe was definitely trending towards the future. And it looks just like this toe is much more grounded. You are much more arrived in a spiritual place, and this has opened up your intuition. Now, if we look here, 3 weeks ago, the trajectory still looks similar here, but if we start to look closer, you can see that your channel of leadership here is also wider. And look at where this toenail is headed. In the past, this toenail was headed again, looking at the future, not super grounded. This toe, and remember, the changes start the farther out from the foot that it is. This toe is much more grounded, and that toenail is really trying to look like to compensate for this future leaning non-present direction. So opening up this path of leadership, and then just look at the difference in that. So life path getting more and more aligned. You are on the right path. So those are really beautiful things to see here. Now, there are a couple of things whenever shifts happen, it's kind of like a seesaw. Where some shifts happen, it balances out in other ways, and not always necessarily in the ways that we want to. So I would love for you to just observe these second toes, particularly these second toes. They look pretty good, but they're pointing a little bit more downward now than they were just a couple of weeks ago. So as you are coming more into your spiritual path, as you're stepping more and more into your new style of leadership, these communication toes are not really 100% sure what to do. That energy of communication has shifted a little bit. And so I would just spend a little bit of extra time massaging these toes and just helping them adapt to the energy, the new energy that's flowing now, so that you can communicate in the highest level to both yourself and to others. I'm not super concerned about this. This is simply a result of changes happening elsewhere. It's compensating, because even though we consciously desire to make changes, the patterns and the ego really want us to stay the same. And so sometimes it's a little bit sneaky and it'll compensate a little bit. So that's what I recommend for that. I know you have been highly engaged in action, and you can see on this toe, like this toe almost looks like it's stretching because you've been required to do a lot of action lately. Again, that's just a difference that I'm seeing in the toes. You are absolutely a person of action, and that's going to settle in on its own. The rest of these toes look quite similar. I think that you're on the right path. I mean, when you think about 3 weeks, look at the difference in these two, life path and spirit path. Really huge. I'm very proud of you. Well done. And I can't wait to see your toes in another 3 weeks, 3 months, 9 months. It's going to be amazing.